Hello, I'm Nick, aka Darth Viper. They call me that because a number of years ago when I sold my business, I indulged my dream and went out and bought myself a monster race car, a track-only black competition, Viper competition coupe, and race it regionally and in some semi-pro events. So the name Darth Viper kind of stuck in something I go by. But first thing of all, I want to welcome everybody to my country, to Canada. I'm in Canada. This weekend is the Canadian Grand Prix, and I want to welcome all of you here. Now, whether you're coming to Montreal, to Canada in person, to go to the track and see the race, or if you're just watching on television, or participating over the internet through live streams, what have you, welcome to my country. We're glad to have you here. Hope you enjoy yourself. Now, I do have to say, unless you're part of the Trump circus of chaos. We've had for months now threats against our sovereignty, again and again, threatening economic coercion to force us to become the 51st state. If that doesn't work, we're going to be annexed. If you're part of that, we want nothing to do with it. Just, But look, this is not about politics. This is about racing. So let's put that all aside. I just wanted to go on record there and let you know what's going down. So, the purpose of this video is to talk about the Canadian Grand Prix. And I have some unique perspectives to it. I've attended it several times. I've been a fan for, close to 30 years, over 30 years. And I have a few things to share with you about the track, how the track's laid out, what it does, what it doesn't do. And I want to help you to learn that. It'll help you to better understand and enjoy the whole weekend of the race. Now, this is a brand new channel, and my idea is that I'm going to, for every race, do a preview of the race like this, where I give you the information you need to enjoy the weekend. Come the event, I'm going to be live streaming actual real-time data in a watch party and adding color commentary, adding my comments to the race in audio format. When it comes, you'll see that track above will be showing you the actual position where people are on the track. I won't be here. This will all be covered down here with data, giving you all the data that you need. By the way, the car is moving around above that you're seeing right now. That's last year's race, 2024. I'm just replaying it there to give you some idea of what you can expect to see on race day. Should be really great. Hope to see you then. And after the race, we'll do a review and a summary. So that'll be the sequence for each one of the events. But I can't do it without you. I need likes in this video, and I need subscribers. Come on, look, I got 20 subscribers as I start this out. So we've got to grow, and we've got to grow quickly. So we'll start there. First thing I'd like to tell you is, if you're coming to Canada, if you're coming to Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix, you have to know who Gilles Villeneuve is. On the start-finish line of the Montreal Grand Prix, the track is called Circus. Gilles Villeneuve is named after him. You will see it saying, Salut Gilles. Salut is a French term. It means hello, goodbye, bye, all the best. It's a greeting. Gilles Villeneuve was a very special Canadian. He was a Formula One driver in the late 1970s and the 1980s. He came from a time when money didn't matter in Formula One. He wasn't a rich man. He wasn't a rich man's son. He didn't have sponsors. He was from a working-class family in Quebec. He raced snowmobiles. He was very good at it, very fast. As a matter of fact, he actually ended up winning the World Championship of snowmobile racing. But he then took that to the next step and went drag racing. He got bored very quickly. So he then went Formula car racing, and he won the Canadian Formula Ford Championship. He then took it to a level higher to Atlantic racing. He did extremely well. He was naturally gifted. So he ended up at a race where it was a non-championship race, non-points race, where several Formula One teams came and brought their drivers for training. And Gilles Villeneuve beat them all. Okay, he did. He beat them, and he caught their attention. So Enzo Ferrari ended up basically offered Gilles Villeneuve a job with Ferrari. He took the job and took to it, and he went well. He was not a young man. He was 27 years old at the time. He actually lied and said he was 25. Anyway, when they had the very first race at this track when it was built in 1978, was the second season Gilles Villeneuve was running, and he won the race. His first home race, the first race of that track, he won. Sadly, in 1982, he was killed during the Belgian Grand Prix. And in 1983, two track volunteers, two women who were track volunteers, snuck onto the track. They got stencils with letters made up, and they spray painted the start-finish line, "Salute Gilles Villeneuve," "Salute Gilles." And ever since then, that's become a tradition. It is there. Every race, they go out there and put it on there every time it's there. So that is Gilles Villeneuve. But let's get down to business. Let's talk about this racetrack, what it is and how it goes and what it means to us, okay? First of all, the Circus Gilles Villeneuve is 3.61 kilometers. That's 2.7 miles. The race is 70 laps, and the current lap record is held by Valtteri Bottas of 1 minute, 13 seconds, 0.078, that he set in 2019 with Mercedes-Benz. There are 3 timing sectors, which you can see above. They're marked there in red, blue, and yellow. And there are 13 corners to the track, 8 right-handed and 5 left. We have 3 DRS zones, but interestingly, there's only 2 detection zones. The second detection zone covers the last 2 DRS zones on the Casino Straight and the Fret Straight. Now, I had the opportunity to drive this track myself at one point back in, I guess it was about 2006. It was one of the support races for the weekend. It was a spec series of Honda Civics racing on the track, all identical cars. Anyway, I dug out and found my track notes, what I was using on the weekend to embed into my mind the routine, the learning the track. I'd never been on it. Anyway, my notes, you can see them here. Front straight, flat out. The Senna S, left turn into a right hairpin. Then chicane, right left, then flat out. Chicane, left right, then flat out. Chicane, right left, then flat out. Right hairpin, then flat out. Casino Straight, then flat out. Right, left, Wall of Champions. And the Wall of Champions we'll talk about in a minute. Finish line, flat out all the way. This track is basically a set of high-speed straights that are connected by 2 very sharp hairpins and 3 quite narrow chicanes. And basically, you're manipulating through it. Because of that, it's very hard on brake wear, very hard on brake cooling. There's always a problem with that. You know, it can have mechanical failure, can be a very real thing here. But we're looking forward to it. So, why don't we have a look at a lap, what a hot lap looks like. So we can just watch it here as it goes through, and we'll just see where they take this to. We're going to start here. There they go. They're going down the straightaway there. First, they're going in here to the left, and then they're going in here to the right. This is the Senna curve, and they're coming out then on the back. The big hairpin they're going through, and here they go. Now, here you just hit it flat out. You're going down there until you end up coming that first chicane, which is going to be to the right and then to the left. Here you go, to the right and to the left. Now, even though the 12 is the corner 5, it isn't. Just step on the gas, flat out all the way. Cut that corner. Just keep going flat out until you come to the next chicane here. And this one's going to be to the left and then to the right. And once again, once you're out of there, step on it flat out. You're headed off to the third chicane up there. Moving along, you can see, by the way, the white dot above is in sync with the video that I'm seeing. Here comes the next chicane. To the right, and then to the left. And again, you step on it flat out because you're headed now for the slowest part of the track and the biggest braking zone, which is the big hairpin, a massive hairpin at this end. You can just see it there, okay? Great grandstand seats there, by the way. Great place to watch the race. Going all the way around here in this hairpin and coming out of the Casino Straight, which is another DRS zone here, by the way. You'll see that it marks the DRS zone. So there is passing along here, especially as you come towards the end. As you come to the end, by the way, you'll notice that the pit lane, you can turn to the right to continue onto the front straight, or you can go straight into the pits, like keeping to the left and veering off. Here you go. That right there is Pirelli, was the champion, the Wall of Champions. We'll talk about that later. Back here over the finish line, and that's our hot lap. We get through there. Now, I want to take a minute and go back and look at the Wall of Champions and talk to you about that a little bit, because it has that name for a particular reason. It actually, a lot of champions have messed with that wall. The nature of it is, as you're coming down the casino street, high speeds, hitting about 320 kilometers per hour, you then brake and make a right turn, make a short jog up, and then you have to turn left onto the front straight. The closer you get to that wall, the faster your lap is going to be. But, good drivers are coming literally with a half inch of it. But if you miss it by that much, you're going to hit the wall. In 1999, in one weekend, Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, and Michael Schumacher, all three of them were Formula One world champions. All three of them hit the wall that event, that weekend. We've also had, we've had Alonso's hit the wall. We've had Vettel hit the wall. We've all kinds of people. So that's the Wall of Champions. Pay attention to it. And we'll talk about some more of that later. Well, I do like to go on, and I do talk quite a bit. Listen, thank you so much if you're still with me. We're just past the 10-minute mark, and got a few other things I want to talk about. Partly, what should we expect from the different teams, and what might be the outcomes this weekend? So let's look at it historically. Lewis Hamilton has won this race 7 times, including his first victory of his career in 2007. That's pretty impressive. Mind you, the last time he won it was 2019. It's been a long time since he's won here in Canada. Max Verstappen has won it 3 times, but it's 3 times in a row, the last 3 times, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So, he obviously knows the track and likes it. Okay? McLaren, because it's this track that favors high speeds, McLaren should have an edge here. And, there's no reason that Piastri and Norris can't do well out there. But this is a track that has always had unusual circumstances and weather. If rain comes, anything can happen. If you want to see perhaps one of the most exciting and strangest races you've ever seen, get a hold of the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. Jenson Button made 6 pit stops, hit 2 cars. I think he had a stop-and-go penalty, right? And despite all that, he won the race. So it was one of the strangest events you've ever seen. So there's an awful lot that goes on. I'm really looking forward to the weekend, and I hope that you will join me here and we can watch the race together. I have, like I said, I like to talk, and I have all kinds of stories to share with you, but I don't want to overdo it. You've been really great, and I want to thank you for watching. I want to ask you again to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you know anybody else who's interested, please get them to sign on as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later in the week. Bye.